Hi, I'm Syerra Burnor, and I'm applying for the Artist 2 position at Nintendo Software Technology Corporation. Gosh, Nintendo has been something that I have grown up with. I have fallen in love with the stories, the characters, the worlds. It's just been something that it's just been amazing. And I still remember the days at my grandmother's house when I was a kid that I would fight with my cousins over the NES because there was only two controllers and we didn't like to share. But now that's not so much of a problem anymore. It's like with online gaming, and I can just pass out controllers and everyone on the same couch can all play the same game, and it's a lot of fun. And that's what draws me to Nintendo overall, is that it's definitely focused on being family friendly and trying to find ways to build just ways to get everyone to have any kind of little fun, and it's just great. I looked a little more into your corporation and saw that you guys have a focus on quality work, which I really respect, and you also put an emphasis on employee health. You offer so many health and wellness programs, and that you even have support for those who are interested in adoption, which is great. It's amazing. And so your team is like treated like a family. And not only that, but they're super talented. And just having the opportunity to sit in the same room and just learn from them and kind of see their different perspectives and their stories as well, that just would be amazing. And I do hope that one day that my skills and experiences could be something that could be a great addition to your already great team. And so some of my strengths would be that I am detail-oriented, I am artistic, I like to draw and write and play music as well, and I'm also a team player. Let's see, just the team environment is, especially with big projects and game development, is best with a team of people, because then they can all get together and kind of put their heads together, knock out some of the harder problems, or come up with some really creative ways to find some new techniques, or just new ways to interact with the environment. It's just great. I also have some leadership experience. I have done some management in the past at Parks and Recreation. I also have some different computer experience. I experienced with the Adobe software like Photoshop and Illustrator as well, and then also some of your 3D rigging programs like the one that you use, the Maya software. And it's just that it's so enjoyable to kind of develop games because it's like a big puzzle. Like I said, you can put the team together, and other people might see a problem, but instead it's more like a challenge that we can all work together to overcome and put all the pieces of the puzzle together. But with strengths comes weakness, and I'm detail-oriented, which also means I'm a perfectionist, and I can get really lost in the details and get too focused on it, or maybe go a little overboard and put too much work into something that was more of a simple project. But I'm aware of that, and to kind of help keep me on track, basically, I kind of put the goal list together and kind of start off with sort of a broad outline and kind of narrow it down as we get closer to the actual deadline, and put some soft deadlines prior, so that way everything's rolling along at the pace it should be. Because even though you want to have some fun details and some stuff, you still got to meet deadline, and then you also kind of have to be able to make sure that the hardware can meet all the software that goes with it. And then another way that kind of helps keep me on track is actually working with the team and kind of discussing, where I'm at, what maybe I'm doing at the moment, and then they can kind of help give me some advice and recommendations. So like, oh yeah, maybe you should work a little more on that, or yeah, that looks good. I may go ahead and roll on to the next part of the project. So, and kind of keep things going. and they'll always offer some new perspective and maybe some new insight, or maybe they just have a trick that moves a little faster than what I might be using currently. So it's just, everyone's working together to keep things going. Let's see, and I do hope that those skills and experiences can meet those duties to this position of the artist too. So I do understand that I'll be, if selected for the position, I'll be creating a variety of visual assets for, what you would expect for game design, illustrations, models, the textures, the animations, the whole environment really. And then also with the user interface, so the menus, the titles and stuff like that is too. And you can see that I have experience in that. I've submitted a portfolio ahead of time, and you can see some of the works that I've done, like character creation, like Pineapple the cat, and then Ginny Beasley from Out of the Blue. And then you can also see some of the design work that I've done with the Skyrider series as well. And I do understand I'll be working with some of the senior and art leads to design and develop, some of the new games, and also work with some of the less experienced members to help kind of guide and mentor them, which that'd be great, because that'd be some groups of people that I can learn from, but then also kind of, supporting the newbies as well, and kind of help move them along and guide them, and which is I've done some of the management before, and so it's always really rewarding to kind of see people kind of learn and grow, but then also they have a fresh perspective on things, and they can kind of help kind of come up with some new ideas that maybe I hadn't thought of, or someone else hadn't thought of, and I can kind of come up with some neat new stuff, really. I've worked with Infantis Publishing Group. They started with just a couple of card games, selling them on the side of street fairs, which is fun, since Nintendo started off with the Hanafuda cards, so that's pretty cool. This group now has moved on to some bigger board games and other video games, and publishing a variety of series as well, and then also worked with the Burnt Out Productions, and with the Skyrider series, and then also with Hollywood High Movie Maker #2, and so which was a real fun project to work on that, and you can kind of see examples of my work through that. Let's see, I also understand that in this position it'd be expected of me to kind of keep up with the tools and the techniques of the trade, and I make it a habit to kind of look into the different advancements of the software that we're currently using, with Adobe and Maya, and then kind of keeping up to date with their changes, and attending the different conferences. I've been to the Adobe Max conference, and checked out some of the new stuff that they were doing there, and kind of seeing how we can apply, or I can apply some new stuff, and how that would be beneficial to some of the projects that we're currently using. And you can see that the Skyrider series, like 1 and 2, we've been using some older software for #1, and then we're able to kind of use some new stuff for #2 as well. And you'll see that all in the portfolio. And and that's a lot of fun. And also in these groups, and we, tested these products over and over again to kind of keep making sure that they work and that they're actually fun to use, and then kind of before we even send it out. So understand that quality is a big thing. I sent my resume ahead of time, so as you can see, I do meet the requirements. I do have a degree in Bachelor of Fine Arts with graphic design emphasis, and a Bachelor's of Science for a professional pilot from University of Central Missouri. Again, I've worked out with Burnout Productions, and that was about 3 years on the Skyrider series, Hollywood High, and assisted with a couple of other smaller projects of different games and applications. And then also, then you can see in my portfolio, and then in some of my previous work that I have, definitely worked with different two-dimensional 3D art, and as well as the different Adobe software. So I hope that you might find these skills and experiences useful for you, and that maybe you might consider me as a part of the team. This is be an excellent opportunity. I know that I would grow and learn so much being in your family environment, and then I do believe that I would be a good addition. So thank you for your consideration, and just thank you for the opportunity.